Welcome to our educational journey into the world of Keynesian economics. In this video series, we'll explore the groundbreaking ideas of John Maynard Keynes and the fundamental principles of his economic theory. Born in 1883, Keynes was a British economist whose revolutionary concepts changed how we understand and manage economic activity. His most influential work, The General Theory of Employment, Interest, and Money, published in 1936, laid the foundation for Keynesian economics. At its core, Keynesian economics focuses on how total spending in an economy, known as aggregate demand, drives output and employment. Unlike classical economists, Keynes argued that markets do not always self-correct efficiently. During economic downturns, he advocated for increased government expenditures and lower taxes to stimulate demand and pull the economy out of recession. Throughout this series, we'll cover the key principles of Keynesian theory and examine its practical applications and long-term impact on modern economic policy. You'll discover how Keynesian economics remains relevant in addressing today's economic challenges. Welcome to our deep dive into the fundamentals of Keynesian economics. Today, we'll explore three crucial principles: aggregate demand, government intervention, and the multiplier effect. First, aggregate demand is about the total demand for goods and services within an economy, shaping output and employment levels. Next, government intervention plays a pivotal role. Keynesians argue that during economic downturns, government spending and fiscal policies can stabilize the economy, boosting aggregate demand when businesses and consumers pull back. Finally, the multiplier effect suggests that initial spending can lead to a greater increase in overall economic activity. For example, a government infrastructure project creates jobs and increases demand for materials and services, rippling through the economy. Together, these principles address economic volatility and aim to promote sustained growth. As we move forward, you'll see how these ideas translate into practical applications and real-world examples of Keynesian economics. Now, let's delve into a fundamental concept of Keynesian economics: aggregate demand. This is the total demand for goods and services within an economy at a given overall price level and period. It encompasses spending from different sectors, including household consumption, business investment, government spending, and net exports. Consumption represents household expenditure on goods and services. Investment includes spending on capital goods for future production. Government spending denotes expenditures intended to boost economic performance. Net exports reflect the balance of trade, the difference between exports and imports. Understanding these components is crucial as they collectively drive economic activity and influence overall health. You'll see how Keynesian economics leverages aggregate demand to address economic fluctuations and promote stability. When the economy takes a downturn, government intervention through fiscal policy becomes crucial. Keynesian economics holds that government spending can stabilize the economy by influencing aggregate demand. This approach contrasts with laissez-faire economics, which advocates minimal interference. Keynes argued that in times of economic distress, markets alone cannot restore full employment. Instead, strategic fiscal policies, such as infrastructure projects and social programs, can stimulate economic activities, create jobs, and boost consumer confidence. Government spending isn't just about short-term fixes. It fosters long-term stability. Imagine bridges built, schools upgraded, and healthcare improved, all driving positive economic momentum. The multiplier effect of such spending is significant. Every dollar spent by the government multiplies, generating more income and jobs across the economy. We'll explore practical examples of Keynesian economics in action and their impact on modern strategies. The multiplier effect is a cornerstone of Keynesian economics, representing the proportional increase in final income from an injection of spending. Imagine a single dollar spent in the economy. It circulates, passing through hands, and fostering additional activity far beyond the initial investment. This is the multiplier effect. Through this process, spending by individuals, businesses, and the government generates a ripple, amplifying total income and output. For instance, when the government invests in infrastructure, it creates jobs, increases consumer spending, and boosts demand for products and services. The multiplier effect highlights the dynamic relationship between spending and economic growth. A small initial investment can lead to a substantial cumulative impact, fostering a more robust economy. You'll see concrete examples of this principle applied in real-world scenarios, shedding light on its practical implications and transformative power. Let's look at some practical examples of Keynesian economics, both historical and modern. During the Great Depression, massive government spending helped stabilize the economy, embodying Keynes's theories in real-world policy. Fast forward to the 2008 financial crisis. Numerous countries adopted fiscal stimulus packages to jumpstart their economies. These instances highlight how government intervention can mitigate economic downturns, a core tenet of Keynesian thought. More recently, during the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw governments worldwide deploy substantial economic relief measures, reaffirming the relevance of Keynesian principles in managing contemporary crises. As we explore further, you'll see how these concepts continue to shape economic strategies today. The Great Depression was a time of widespread unemployment, poverty, and financial instability. Amid this turmoil, Keynesian economics emerged as a beacon of hope. Keynes proposed that increased government spending could boost aggregate demand, offsetting the downturn. This approach led to initiatives like the New Deal in the United States, which included public works projects and social safety nets. These measures aimed to stimulate economic activity and restore confidence among consumers and businesses. As we delve into this case study, we'll see how these interventions made a significant impact, helping to alleviate the worst effects of the Depression and shaping future economic policies. The success of Keynesian strategies during this period demonstrated the power of government intervention and shaped modern macroeconomic thought. These principles have continued to influence responses to economic crises in recent times. As we navigate recent economic crises, the relevance of Keynesian economics becomes clear. Governments worldwide have leaned on Keynesian principles to stabilize their economies. From the 2008 financial meltdown to the global pandemic, these moments have tested economic frameworks. The crux of Keynesian economics lies in active government intervention, utilizing fiscal policies to boost demand and mitigate recessionary impacts. Central banks have injected liquidity into markets, and massive fiscal stimulus packages have been rolled out to revive ailing economies. These steps echo Keynes's theory that in times of economic downturn, government spending is essential to spur growth and restore confidence. Observing how different nations tailored their responses using Keynesian strategies provides a contemporary lens to understand its potency and adaptability. Next, we'll dive into the theoretical conflicts that surround Keynesian economics and address its critics. While Keynesian economics has paved the way for significant progress, it is not without critics. Detractors argue that excessive government intervention can lead to inefficiencies and long-term economic instability. Critics also point to the potential for increased national debt and inflation. However, Keynesian economics provides robust responses to these criticisms. Proponents argue that effective government spending during downturns can stimulate economic recovery, increase demand, and ultimately stabilize long-term growth. By strategically managing fiscal policies, governments can mitigate the associated risks of inflation and debt. These responses underscore the adaptability and resilience of Keynesian principles in addressing complex economic challenges. You'll see how these theoretical debates play out in practical situations, shedding light on the real-world impact of Keynesian economics. The impact of Keynesian economics on modern policy is profound. Decisions made by governments today still reflect Keynes' principles, especially in times of uncertainty. From fiscal stimulus packages to strategies aimed at boosting aggregate demand, the echoes of Keynesian thought resonate loudly. This enduring legacy underscores the relevance of Keynes' ideas in shaping economic frameworks that prioritize stability and growth. Looking at the long-term impact, it's evident that Keynesian principles have provided a foundation for proactive interventions. They offer a roadmap for addressing contemporary challenges, ensuring the economy remains resilient and responsive. These principles guide current policies and set the stage for future economic planning. Next, we will summarize the key insights we've uncovered throughout this exploration of Keynesian economics, bringing together theory, practice, and impact into a cohesive understanding. In conclusion, we've explored the key principles, practical applications, and lasting impact of Keynesian economics. From understanding aggregate demand and the role of government intervention to exploring the multiplier effect and practical examples, each facet has taught us how these theories shape real-world economies. We've seen how Keynesian economics provided solutions during the Great Depression and how it continues to influence modern economic policies. Reflecting on its criticisms and the solutions offered, we can appreciate its comprehensive approach to managing economies. The major takeaway is clear. Keynesian economics provides a framework that balances theory with practice, ensuring stability and growth. As we wrap up, remember that the principles we've discussed are more than academic theories. They are tools for policymakers to navigate economic challenges. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Keynesian economics. We hope you found this exploration insightful and engaging. Keep these ideas in mind as you continue your studies or delve deeper into economic theory.